I'm Whitney Harding live in Nashville. A win for the Cats today, so we're going to check in with the nation. I mean, you've probably heard of them. They're kind of blue. But for him being so good at so many sports, it wasn't just something to do. It was really a means for survival. Those were those Heisman numbers. Now, here are his numbers so far this season. A little bit lower in rushing yards, a little bit higher in passing yards. And a lot of the guys on the Purdue squad have returned this year. But there is a big difference with the Boilermakers this season, and I will break that down coming up later in sports. Clemson was better than 50% on the night. Kelly Bryant alone, 6 for 9, 99 yards, ran for a touchdown on third downs. Well, 5 years ago this week, an EF4 tornado devastated the southern Indiana town of Henryville. A year later, while the town itself was still trying to rebuild, so was the basketball team, as they did not win a single game. Now, 5 years later, the team is making history and bringing a community back together. A basketball hitting the court in a high school gym is like a heartbeat. There's rhythm, consistency, a soulfulness. But on the afternoon of March 2nd, 2012, in the Henryville High School gym, there was no heartbeat. Only silence after an EF4 tornado shook the town.
It was kind of surreal seeing the destruction and then seeing the National Guard walking through your town. It was like to me, I felt it was like a war scene, seeing the troops and all the destruction. And it was kind of scary, the magnitude.
Jared Hill grew up in Henryville just like his parents, his grandparents, and generations all the way back to the 1800s. Coming back to his hometown as a teacher and coach was something he always wanted to do, but he had no idea how crucial his influence would be. The year after the tornado hit, the Hornets basketball season really resembled the town's struggle. The team went 0-20.
It was really hard, not winning any games. I was the junior varsity coach still, and it was pretty hard to stomach. The team basically was destroyed for 2 years.
It was tough on us. It was tough on the team as a community, and it was really just heartbreaking. But to see where we are now, it's that much more sweeter.
Fast forward 5 years and the town has really come a long way. The school is standing, the gym has all its walls, and now on Friday nights the stands are full. This season the Henryville Hornets have won 19 games, the most regular season wins in school history, and they've brought the heartbeat back to this town.
We have pride in what we've done in the community, so now we've taken pride on what we do on the basketball floor, and it's kind of just translated into winning basketball games.
And I think it all comes back to how hard do they work, and are you willing to sacrifice for your teammate? And I think that was the part that they learned from the tornado, the sacrifice for your teammate, and I think they bleed for that.
People, they're happy. They're really happy with our boys, and just the support, because we did have a time period it wasn't there, and it's great to have it back.
Hey, Kent, shoot around going on behind me with the Purdue Boilermakers. And while Purdue lost 2 games down in the Bahamas in that battle for Atlanta's tournament, it was obvious yesterday that David Padgett does not consider this Purdue Boilermakers team anything but a top 25 club, probably even a top 20 team. But a big change for the Boilermakers this year, and that is with personnel. Caleb Swanigan, the All-American from last year, has moved on to the NBA, and he gave the Boilermakers a physical presence. But Purdue still does have size, and they're dual 7-footers. The big thing with this year's team, outside shooting, that makes them really dangerous. In their win over second-ranked Arizona, well, at the time second-ranked Arizona, Purdue shot 57% from the field, 50% from 3. Tip-off is tonight at 8 o'clock. We'll have full coverage on 11 at 11. Reporting live at Mackey Arena, Whitney Harding, WHAS 11 News. Absolutely, that time of possession, to me, that was the big statistic, because time of possession goes with number of plays, and Louisville just did not have as many as Clemson, which really just, it sounds simple. It is. Makes it harder to score more points. Let's go to the highlights and see exactly what happened here. It was a great atmosphere at Papa John's Cardinal Stadium. The blackout was on. First time U of L's hosted a top 5 opponent in primetime. Cards couldn't get points on their first drive. Tigers, though, got going quickly. Kelly Bryant to complete to Hunter Renfro. 40 yards. That puts Clemson in the red zone. They would get in a 4th-and-1 situation, convert it. Very next play, Bryant on the keeper runs it in. 7-0 Clemson. But Louisville responds, and, well, big surprise. It's the Heisman Trophy winner, Jackson. Fakes the handoff, keeps it, goes 30 yards for a big first down. Cards in business at this point. Later on the drive, Jackson just doing some more Lamar Jackson things. Being chased, throws on the run, and Charles Stanberry's in the end zone, goes up, comes down with it. Big play. That's touchdown. We're tied at 7. Now, under 5 minutes in the second quarter, Clemson takes the lead back in a big way. Bryant steps up, airs it out over the top of that secondary. Ray McLeod wide open and gone. Clemson really went at that secondary without Jair Alexander. That's a 79-yard touchdown. 19-7 Clemson at the half, like Kent said. Now, they get the ball to start the third quarter, but U of L dials up the defense. London Iacopo takes down Bryant for a sack. Trayvon Young there as well, and that forces the Tigers to punt. So now Louisville's chance to use that as momentum and get something going, but on 2nd and 13, Jackson intercepted by Dorian O'Daniel, just hanging around there. He returns it 44 yards for the pick 6. That is Jackson's first interception in 138 pass attempts. Clemson adds another touchdown to go up 33-7 after 3 quarters. Fourth quarter, Jackson escapes a tackle, airs it deep to Jalen Smith, alone in the end zone, a 36-yard score. Louisville with some life, but Clemson just knows how to respond, and they killed momentum all night. Not even 2 minutes later, Adam Choice goes 39 yards for another Tigers touchdown. Now this turned into a blowout. Tigers making that huge statement, winning it 47-21. That time of possession, like I mentioned, was absolutely huge. But a big stat for me as well, third down. U of L just extremely not as good as Clemson in converting those third downs. Clemson was better than 50% on the night. Kelly Bryant alone, 6 for 9, 99 yards, ran for a touchdown on third downs. The Cards put together an incredible performance on Senior Day this weekend, crushing Syracuse 56-10, and Lamar Jackson was once again incredible, raking in 381 total yards and 4 touchdowns. Honestly, at this point, that's just another game for the Heisman Trophy winner, which, when you really think about it, is just absolutely crazy. And what's even more crazy, his numbers in some way even better than last season. Here are last year's numbers through 11 games. 1,367 yards rushing, 19 touchdowns, over 3,100 yards passing, and 28 touchdowns. Those were those Heisman numbers. Now, here are his numbers so far this season, a little bit lower in rushing yards, a little bit higher in passing yards, and it makes sense in those areas that things have changed, because Jackson's goal this season was to become a more pocket passer. So he's just not running as much, designed running, I should say. But he also has a lower interception, fumble, and sack rates, plus a higher completion rate. Now, Bobby Petrino says, yes, Jackson has gotten better. There are many reasons, but one he's seen improvement has everything to do with the weight room. On August 25th, it was rivalry night. Oldham County hosting North Oldham on the gridiron. And then in the first quarter, the Colonels saw their senior running back on the field in pain.
Daniel Calderon, when we were playing North Oldham, went down with a pretty significant ankle sprain.
Daniel said he felt the injury immediately, but then the Colonel's secret weapon took the field to ease the pain.
Oh, well, it hurt, but then as soon as he came in, I started petting him, and I didn't really feel much pain. And you just focus on him and don't focus on injury anymore.
So he'll come up to you and he'll lay on top of you and start licking you and stuff while you're injured, try to make you feel better.
Meet Colby.
Check out my good side.
The Oldham County Colonel's golden retriever, therapy dog, assistant trainer. Put all that on a business card, or I guess a dog tag. He belongs to Kim McElhaney, the Colonel's athletic trainer, and he's 2 years old.
So I got him right at 10 weeks. And I went back to school for PTA. So I was like, you know what, we're going to go through school together. And it's amazing how a dog can do so much, whether it's emotional support or just being there. I feel like they have like a huge part.
The way I understand it, he's just doing his job as well.
When you're a first-year head coach, there are always unknowns. Step down hard! But for new head coach Michael Fox, this was just unheard of.
And then one day the dog's just kind of in the weight room, so everybody looking around, and it was new for me.
But he quickly saw the positive presence Colby brings to his team.
His job is to help keep kids calm, to help go through therapy activities with them, and if it kind of keeps them a little focused, lets them not focus on the pain or the situation, and again, just lets them calm down a little bit, then he's doing his job as well.
It hurts a little bit, but not much.
They actually respond to therapy a lot better, and it kind of takes the distraction away, and they focus on him, and he's learned that that's his role. And you can't really train that. Like, he just knew that that's what he needed to do. So I think a dog, knowing he has a role in something, he loves it.
I think they welcome that presence, and they also know that when something's going wrong, he'll be right there in the middle of it.
Now, football is not the only sport that Colby's involved in. He actually participates with all of the sports in Oldham County, of course, has outfits for everyone as well. And Kim says he's actually become kind of a community figure more than anything. Whitney Harding, WHAS 11 News.